The legions had been marching for days without rest. Settra's fury alone drove them onward. The ogre savages that Sigismund was tasked with defeating had of course escaped, and had destroyed the still recovering defenders of both I, the Panther, and Martek, claiming both cities for their barbarian tribe to defile with their filth. The Vizier was lucky he had located the army of elf and lizard that was guarding the third book of Nagash, and had sent their souls to Assyrian for judgment, securing the book's power for the Great King. While Settra pursued the belligerent ogres, he ordered Sigismund and Onuris set up guard to the south of the Atalan Mountains, and take the time to replace his archer host with more Ushabti constructs, so that he might not fail his next task. Back home in Kimri, the first issuance of the proclamation of the First Dynasty was held, invigorating his armies to march much greater lengths to expand the one true empire. King Esfir was sent back to his tomb to rest, and King Nekaph, favored son of the desert god Kassar, would take his place at the head of the second army of Kimri, charged with defending the capital while Settra put down the other rebellious kings of Nehekhara. He is a master of desert warfare, known to strike without warning with the fury of the great sandstorms, and disappear without a trace, leaving only the broken bodies of the unfortunate defenders to be devoured by his patron god. Diplomacy with the surrounding nations was either violent or nervous, with most seeing his assault on what they saw as the otherwise peaceful tribe of ogres living in Araby as a sign their kingdoms might not be as safe as they once believed. The savage orcs of Wurzag's bloody hands had chosen the foolish route of declaring war on the land of the dead. They still had many problems on the home front to deal with, but we must ready ourselves for the green tide without delay. The dwarves of Karazakarak had opted for peace for the time being, and had agreed to a non-aggression pact between our two kingdoms. Let us hope for their sake they continue to work to improve relations with Kimri, or risk annihilation. Nehekhara would soon be reunited once more, but first, there were ogres to hunt. And welcome back into part 7 of our Settra narrative campaign. The untiring legions have been marching all night, and we've been searching for the ogres who have now gone invisible. They're in an ambush stance somewhere around here. We are going to have Prince Nebethar do some scouting, see if we can't locate them. I'm not sure if we're able to with a hero, but we shall try. Man, I know he just wants to take down Coffer, because it's quite a potent town here. I can spend a little bit of our gold to assault the garrison, but we would run over the garrison regardless, so I would like to conserve a bit of our gold. Let's go ahead and bring Settra down to Martek. If you'd like to try to ambush, I'm happy to let him try. Looks like the ogres are probably hiding out over here somewhere. So this would be an easy, decisive victory. I am more concerned with finding the ogres, so we're going to break the siege. I don't want to get randomly attacked by them. They also could have retreated back this direction, and if they are pulling us out, that could be a very clever ploy by our ogre friends. Let's move, because we have a lot of movement. Move Settra over this direction to see if he is ambushing. It's only going to bring us down to 26%. I want to still be able to attack the town, so... Okay, I don't think he's in our territory. He very could be tricking us, but let's put...
I serve king and patriarch.
Before we put Nebethar back in the army, I want him to gain full experience, so we'll have Settra attack. We will encircle up. We'll figure this order of operations out. Put him on back in the army, and then we will destroy Martek. If it'll let it click. There we go. It would be a decisive victory. They are at half strength, so we will not waste our soldiers' time. Send them on in. We lost 0. I've honestly never seen that with even this many ogres on a auto-resolve. Quite nice. We'll take the 3 jars we managed to pack them into, and we'll occupy the town back. Another storm of necromancy kicks on out. We're gonna get to see that every single time. Okay, so they kept our Tronel Plaza. We could upgrade the town. I am going to hold off on that for now, though. Just since I don't know where that other army of ogres disappeared off to. The Henizmet is in global recruitment. It's going to take a couple more turns before these Ushabti Greatbow are here, but I think waiting the 3 turns is going to be worth it. Otherwise, we have to sprint on over and still wait the... I believe it's 2 turns for them to recruit on in. Since our Lich Priest is back, we're going to immediately send him after Minkare, who is a much higher rank. But there's a small chance. Oh, I guess the chance is so low that absolutely not, he will not win. Okay, well, I guess we'll use him as a spy then. We'll have to have someone else bring down Minkare, one of our more elite heroes. For King Nekaph, we are going to keep an eye on Thorek, who is wandering around in our lands. I kind of thought he was going to just kind of move over and keep the fight up with Labaris, but he is continuing to kind of putter around in lands that don't belong to him. He's going to take a lot of attrition for it. So I think we will definitely issue the trespassing warning. You are on our lands. You don't belong here. And we'll send Nekaph over to deal with that. I want him to be in ambush stance. He is known to be a desert ambusher, so we want to kind of treat him as such. His army composition is going to change quite a bit. We'll probably keep a good deal of these Tomb Guard, but we're going to replace some of the Zandri, like the Zandri Black Shields, the Golden Host, and the Legion with the different horsemen that we have access to, since he is known for being kind of a leader of horsemen. We've got almost enough gold. Man, I thought we would get enough from that win to put in the pyramid at one of the other towns, but we did not quite make it, so instead, I'm going to take Coffer up to tier 3 so we can upgrade this docks. Take us from 200 to 400 gold, as well as a good bit deal more growth and some replenishment rate. Take that up to a tier 3 mausoleum. Al Haik even I'm going to wait before doing any further upgrades to, because again, I do not know where those ogres are. And even upgrading Coffer is probably a bad idea. I did just say I was going to wait on that. We don't know where those ogres are, and that's a good deal of gold to waste. We'll come back over here to territory we know we can defend. Yeah, I was wanting to put in the Pyramid of King Katep here, since it lowers construction cost and construction time for all our buildings faction-wide. But no such luck. I think instead, we will come over and kick in the Nobles' Tombs for kind of an equal amount of gold. And then the Spice Bazaar takes some growth, so I'm not going to build that. But I will put in the Sepulchre, because it gives us a little bit of a small amount of increase to our research rate. Every little bit helps. And we'll put in the Pyramid of Tutankhamun later on here. But we'll see if Thorek tries any nonsense. We'll jump into our dynasties. Since we have completed the Proclamation of the First, we have 10% more movement range for all armies, 10% less construction cost for infantry and chariot buildings, and then a bit more trade tariffs. We need more trade agreements to make full use of that. The patronage of Lazamash is probably not a bad idea just to grab the additional Tomb Princes, so I believe we're going to do that now since we have the gold. Keep our hero capacity moving on upwards. We also want to quickly gain access to another dynasty down here. It does cost a good deal of our Canophic Jars, 784 total. We can keep decreasing that with skills, but it also costs a good deal of gold, so it'll be something we work towards slowly, and I do have a hard time not just unlocking new units when I have them, because I enjoy trying out all the new spicy units. But we do need more armies to defend this massive amount of land that we have claimed for ourselves. We are starting to get a bit overextended. For our scouts in the north, he is nearly... Oh, here's the 7th book now. Let's go ahead and see if we can take a look at the army we're going to have to fight. I mean, they may just attrition themselves down. Abashik. Oh, it's a mixture of beastmen and greenskins. A savage tide, indeed.
Marvel at my pyramid. Know that you will never achieve such majesty.
I'm sure Tic-Tac-Toe is... Brother. What have we done? I'm confused. We just signed these agreements, and now he's already wanting to break them. It's guaranteed because of our reliability. These fool ogres. Alright, well, we gotta be careful. The turn falls to us, and it looks like Benkare was not content to let Amos run around unopposed, and he has been wounded. That's incredibly rude, brother. We're going to remember that forever, in fact. Dynasty Research, we've got an additional Tomb Prince capacity, and they ignored the Trespasser warning. That is quite a fool mistake there, Thorek. I think they need to change, well, I know that it has to tell you they ignored it, but it needs to let you know that you can declare on one turn. Obviously, you can come on over and mouse, but I have declared war on people so many times after just the first time, just because I saw that they ignored it. The Bloodlust, it's going. We have another mission here to eliminate the Sandgrinder. Oh, we're already on the way. Don't you worry. And actually, while Sahinazmet sits here, we will send Onuris out. He's the assassin, right? He sure is. We'll send Onuris out to deal with Benkare.
I shall whisper the curse.
It is a low chance, but we trust you. Kill. Oh, he failed. Hopefully we don't get a sucker punch in return. Let's grab Settra then, and then we march on the Sandgrinder. Attack indeed. It's going to give us a decisive victory. Auto-resolve would kill it with 0 losses on our side, but that is no fun. We need to watch these ogres bleed. The Necrosphinx are as majestic as they are horrifying to witness in battle. The giant magical constructs were designed to be an amalgamation of the mythical beasts said to inhabit the Nehekaran underworld. They have the torso and face of a tomb guard, gigantic scything blades so sharp they can decapitate a dragon in a single swipe, a scorpion-like tail to give the monstrous creation an even greater reach, and finally a pair of ornate wings sprout from the back of the construct, mimicking those of the great falcons that circle the highest levels of the underworld. In battle, a Necrosphinx glides across the terrain in bounding leaps before falling upon its unfortunate foes, scything down the living as one would reap the wheat of the field. Only when all before them are butchered will the Sphinx finally stop their rampage. So powerful is the Necrosphinx's will to destroy, that only the incantations of servitude keep them from turning on their creators and tearing Nehekara asunder. And so these filthy savages will learn the true meaning of war. Let's get this battle going. We've got a whole host of ogre chonkuses down in the valley to face us. A whole bunch of lead belchers, which are going to perform very, very similarly to our Ushabti Greatbow. I think they have a little bit more punching power from what I have discovered. They shoot little spiky balls. They're quite deadly, so we need to shut them down immediately. I have all of my chariots, the archer ones moving in from the top here because they can get the high ground, and the ones that are just melee focused should try to move around and attack and disrupt the lead belchers before they can start firing. They're not the best in melee, but they perform alright. While our swordsmen kind of move in from the side here, they will struggle a little bit against the ogres. We have a good deal of armor, and our ogres have a bit of issues getting through armor. Not the lead belchers, obviously, but the ogres themselves. But we are going to mostly use our heroes and our archers to try to fill them full of arrows. Let's go. Their reinforcements have arrived. And our lads have smashed on in. Look how much damage they're already taking. They have the Bull Gorger added, so they're going to have some armor piercing. And these Gorgers were hiding until my chariots got a little bit closer, so they did a good deal of damage. Chariots are going to try to run, but you're going to lose a few. Cannonballs slamming into Settra, but he cares not. He's going to cleave ogre flesh, as 2 fall in a single slash. We'll slow things down again and keep an eye on what's going on here. We've got Nekaph doing battle with many, many ogres. He is surrounded by all sorts of big, sweaty lads. He's got lots to kill. Looked like he was being chased by Apophis for a second, who is over here with our Necrosphinx. Necrosphinx is going to have an absolute ball fighting the ogres. He's got flaming attacks to stop the regeneration on the Gorgers, and that anti-large is going to just cut through ogres like butter. Each swipe of those big scythes is going to cut down many a fool. Noblars do not really pose much resistance for chariots, as you would expect. Tomb Swarm to rip the exposed flesh from the ogres' backs. They like to nom-nom on others, so we are going to do the same to them. Settra's chariot getting smacked so hard it does a little wiggle. We'll do it in slow-mo and it'll be a normal chariot. Or maybe not. The Casket of Souls is only really going to be used for its debuff to their leadership. It doesn't do a bunch of damage to single entity monsters, but we will make do. I have the Kepra Swarm chasing a group of the Lead Belchers because even if they're in melee at all, they will not be firing. Continues to kill Lead Belchers himself. Kepra Swarm is doing wonderfully. They are a bunch of scaredy cats. They're tired of being slaughtered wholesale by nothing but bones. Office wants a hug. And no one should want to hug him back. Gerald the Ogre falls. He's going to take some hits in return, but since he has so much physical resistance, he can fight ogres all day. Doesn't matter how many of them hit him. He's going to scream at him. Already the Lead Belchers run. Kepra Swarm has had enough. Each swing the ogres do hit does a lot of damage, so you do have to always... Ogres are kind of like corn, where they're always able to dish damage back, no matter how soundly you rout them. Our infantry have finally arrived. Love to see them cutting down some of the ogres, but the Necrosphinx doing its thing is going to have to work for now. A gigantic slash. He wound up twice. Doing the Dark Souls boss hesitation. Works every time, as the Tyrant has just found out. Ogre bodies litter the battlefield. The chariots over off on the left flank here are having a bit of an issue. They got chased down by the Gorgers. They move quite fast, so Settra is going to quickly come on over to assist once he routs off what he has. The archers have arrived to fill the ogres with the sweet sting of Asaf. Linked off the back of that guy's head, just gave him a little flesh wound. Oh yeah, damage coming in from everywhere. That guy's had enough. The blanket of arrows and the gigantic scything blades will soon bring these ogres low. Of course, our foot soldiers in the back are doing a whole heap of nothing. But such is the way. Apophis is in the middle of a party he has invited himself to. Several Nobilar heads flying from their bodies there. But they're brave, they're doing the jump attacks. They've learned well from Assassin's Creed. A group of Nobilars has already been terrified, they've had enough. A explosion from Settra doing all of nothing. Those ogres are going to try to give chase, but there is no catching Settra. He zooms away to go help out his chariots. Don't worry, lads. Cavalry's coming. Gonna slow down the dual weapons and then hit them with a pincer attack with Settra and the other chariots. Second chariots of Settra to be exact. We have them surrounded and they shall soon fall. The Gorgers have turned to assist as well, so we're going to be making sure that Settra has no problem scything the rest of them down. Just have to get through all that health. Back in the background, the rest of the force is already broken. Just the fact that the Gorgers are unbreakable. They must be slain to a man. And they're completely sandwiched between two groups of chariots. There's pretty much nothing to do but die. As the last few fall, looks like some spells going down. Crucifying our blades, just healing up the boys. And the last few Gorgers fall. These ogres will learn from their folly. Attack us. And they were all slaughtered. Yeah, no, the ogres are a bit more sturdy. They always handle a chariot charge a bit better than pretty much any other race, just because they're all monstrous units. But we relegated the Lead Belchers to very few kills each, 10 maximum, with the majority of the kills going to the Gorgers and the regular old bulls running around. But the victory is ours, Sandgrinder falls, and the town of the Eye of the Panther is back under our control. Gem mines for Settra, who has now become dauntless. 10 extra leadership for himself and 10 charge bonus. Mission successful. Defeat any lord in battle. It does switch it after you've defeated one. So they and all their kind are a threat to Hekara's immortal glory. Defeat them and send them to Assyrian for judgment. And they have since been sent. We gain 20 extra jars, a Trickster's Shard, and 1,000 to our treasury. I guess also a Charnel Valley Necrotect. Excellent. Sandstorm also refreshes, and let's go find us some good skills for the Settra. We have maxed out the Invocation of the Desert Sun, which we haven't gotten to use nearly enough yet. We need to find a army with more large fellas, or less large fellas, and more big clumps of weakened soldiers. Either way, we will run them over. I gotta remember to use it. So for his skill then, I think we will just go for... hard to hit. Start working down towards his combat line. His spells are very important, but I like the bombardment spell that we have and the healing. We basically just use him to keep the soldiers healed and keep extra damage going. So for Herald Nekaph, I think Indomitable, keep that leadership very high. Important that our heroes never stop fighting until the very end if we can help it. And then for Apophis, man, we are cruising on through here. We'll grab Blade Master. 76 melee attack. That's not bad at all. Battle-hardened troops. Prince Nebuthar. Oh, Mortuary Cult crafting cost. Yeah, that and the Canopic Jars. I think we may add in the respec mod for the next one, just so we can go back and grab Heir the Chariot King for Nebuthar here. I mean, if not, or if there's some issues with that, I may just go ahead and recruit up another one and name him Prince Nebuthar, and Nebuthar may be changed to someone else. We will see. For his skill point we pass out, though, we'll finish off Canopic Jar Hoarder, just so we can keep generating those on up. 3 a turn for him. And since Eye of the Panther's back under our control, he's got Charnel Plazas in both, huh? Well, if you need that money, you got it. We will then come on back over to Kasabar and quickly build in the Pyramid of King Katup. The Lich Lord commanded his pyramid constructed so that in life and beyond all will know his resilience and dedication. Katup is over, way over here in, I believe it's not the World Eggs. Where is it actually? Katup is over in the Ashen Coast. So we will see if he manages to survive, but if he doesn't, we can go ahead and take those refugees and we'll have Katup in our forces as well. As well as against all of the other kings that we unfortunately have taken on into the... They've got to rest in their tombs.
Open the casket of souls!
Open it on up. For our dynasty, man, I am tempted to grab yet another Tomb Prince, but we don't really need that many of them running around, I can't lie. So next we'll go for Pride and Service to make sure all of our Tomb Guard, Royal Guard, and Heroes are extra potent. And then we'll go for Stronger Binding next, and then work towards probably the next dynasty. We can start grabbing some of these Heralds, but I'd like to save our Canopic Jars, as I was saying before, to unlock another Lord option, so we can grab Amenemhetem, the Corsair King. Love to get the Black Tower of Archon put in as well. But Amenemhetem will allow us to... I'd like to get a themed army up with a bunch of Carrion and Tomb Corsairs and send him out to, apparently, since Sartosa's gone, we'll be fighting with the new pirates, which is Beligar. We're going to move King Wakaf over towards Qatar. We're just going to make sure we keep an eye on Thorak. Wherever he attacks, we want to be not far behind. That way we can deal our damage back. You got a whole bunch of very potent runes on his lads here. 10 extra ward save. I saw a Master Rune of Spite. There it was. This one's nasty. Does that damage in the area effect around them? So we will deal with that in due time. I believe we will swing back up to our spy here, who is taking a look at Ashiek. What can he do to the army? Into replenishment? They're not doing any replenishing. Let's continue to move north and discover new lands. We're moving through the disgusting vampire lands now, and it's leaving a sour taste. Volker Schwarzenhaven. Let's get out of here. And we have now awoken Prince Neferkare, who is wrathful, so he's going to have an additional 10 to his bonus versus infantry, which is going to be quite nice for us. He has no real items to speak of as of yet. He's going to have to earn his right. But for his skills, we can quickly go ahead and swing in here and grab, I'd say, Abdominal Will, Conqueror times 2, and then Hard to Hit, Boom Strike, and then Woundmaker. We will just make him an absolute monster in combat for whenever he is slotted into the army. And then we'll come over here to Ekenerus. I probably won't do that, but we'll definitely give you your Restore ability so you can heal up the Ushabti constructs in combat. Looks like we have some Trespassers. Rolgan and his army of 3. That is because Skarbrand is not far behind. He has claimed Karag Orud, and Thorek is running for his life. Fair enough. King Nekaph retains extra bonuses with fighting in the desert, so we don't want to leave the desert. Skarbrand is kind of trapped. Can we get any good ambushes in?
Onward, soldiers! Strike on my command.
I mean, I don't know if we would assist Numas in combat, but we can try. We'll sprint on over with Nekaph. We have no... Oh, we could add in some more Tomb Swarm. We've got some Necropolis Knights. Man, we need to get Sehenismet back over into the Land of the Dead. That way we can recruit in those constructs for him. Taking 6 turns to do so is not something I'm looking to do again. For Settra, we could move down here and deal with the ogres, but I think we will come on down and finish off the Dawi instead. That way we can push through and attack the Sorcerer here. We should have no trouble with Sehenismet next turn attacking whatever army that the foolish ogres have risen up here. So let's charge on down and smush some more Dawi. Svenner Iron Pick. I don't think he's gotten to fight Settra yet. Thick Skolson has. They all stick in to fight together. The stubborn fools. It is time that the prospectors go extinct. Let's send in the forces. We have a split advance. At the moment, we've got the chariots with melee moving in from the left, and the ones with the missile capabilities from the right with Apophis. They're also getting stuck on each other, as they tend to do. We've got to keep them a little bit further apart, I will remember, in the future. I have the 2 that are good versus infantry only moving in as well. Since they move a bit, they're going to be at least able to flank or run around and crush anyone that tries to escape. We have both of the armies moving in from the back there, so as long as we take down this first group quickly, we should be able to get into a good position to receive the second army. Apophis has summoned in a swarm of scarabs, entirely unnecessary. First volley going down, they're going to try to blast away at Settra. But the chariots have arrived. Bring the Urks down. No Urks here. Here comes the Necrosphinx bounding into combat. He is the happiest of slaughtery boys. Yeah, the combination of that many chariots, this many Kepra swarm, the dwarves will be rounded up in short order. In fact, if we zoom on out, there is not a single unit that is currently still fighting. Even their lord is about to break. Bit of friendly fire coming down. The Casket of Souls tend to have a bit more friendly fire. I have to quickly select its targets, otherwise it blasts our own regiments apart. I will see you all when the reinforcements arrive. And in march the next line of fools, ready to die. We'll see how much damage they can do. This is going to be this is a much larger force of dwarves, and they are all in single file line to start, all trying to occupy the same space. The plan is going to be just to circle them up with the chariots and charge Settra and his heroes straight down the middle. Smash that Rune Lord fast. As we speak, chariots moving out to the flanks, preparing to actually get into position to move. While Apophis is turned into Scarabs himself to try to get around the map a little bit faster. The original Lord has decided that fighting is indeed the way, so he's come on back even with the amount of injuries he has sustained. limping right along. He's receiving arrows. Oof, the last miner falls. An arrow in the neck and directly in the forehead. It hit him with the wrong side of it, but it still was a kill. The Tomb Swarm coming down is ripping off a good chunk of their health. The Quarrelers are attempting to get some damage in on our crossbows, or our chariots while they can. We shall see how much they're able to do. Quarrelers do fair damage, but if they have to keep moving around to get shots in, they struggle quite heavily, obviously. A little bit of burning going on with the blasting charges. Show the miners that we also have the capability of lighting fools on fire. The obligatory surrender dropping. We did this one a little bit early. If we wait for them to take a bit more damage before activating it, it will fully rout a unit pretty much on contact. Well, not on contact, but you know what I'm talking about. As soon as you hit it, they'll drop away. Beautiful slow motion charge through these Quarrelers. As soon as they are exposed, that is the end. Every single one of the chariot hosts is rolling on over now. A wave of death. Quarrelers got too far away from their allies there. Settra's being absolutely coated in explosions. Little do they know, the wrath of Tra has hardened him to the flame. He's not scared. Another line of Dawi run down. Oh, it's beautiful. You can see him running for their lives in the background, too. There is no escape. Only the void. And a wee bit of a frame droppage. Well, as they continue to waste all their satchel charges on Settra, the souls of their allies rain down upon them. And that was the Invocation of Tra. I'm still trying to figure out exactly how to use it. I dropped it on a single lad there just to see how much damage it was, and it was almost not worth 20 wins of magic, so we shall see. Another beautiful coating of souls for the enemy there. And just blending Dawi up. In the back line, it looks much, much worse. There's not a single Quarreler that isn't being run over. And if there haven't, they've been put on a list and they are waiting their turn. If I were them, I would run before the rest of our army gets here. They are struggling quite heavily. Single swipe, taking down 10 to 15. The Necrosphinx and Tomb Guard charge again. There goes the big sweet boy. Tomb Guard need to swing those blades. Start claiming some skulls. Seems like the Dwarf Warriors will engage in combat and then immediately break and run. As the leadership is starting to falter, they realize that it is too late for them. None shall survive to remember this day. It won't even go in the books. Just the mangled and bloodied corpses of all the Dawi. A few of them coming on back from their retreat. Just a few, though. Things back into normal. Settra has located their lord. Once he is defeated, the rest of them shall run. Another explosion from Tra. The Dawi retreat. We can even zoom out and see the amount of bodies. None of them are ours. We have only really lost a couple chariots from our own misuse. But another wonderful victory and the extinction of the Prospectors. Word shall be sent to the Dwarf King. We have taken care of their exile problem, and we shall not even demand any tribute for this kindness. The Prospectors were too confident that Arkan had any use for them other than as fodder, and for this they have been destroyed. None shall mourn their passing. The Prospectors chose poorly, and they aligned with the wrong side. Settra got 232 kills, but the real heroes were our normal chariots with over 300 each. for that victory, I think we will simply go ahead and harvest up some more organs.
Execute them.
Perfect. Spinner Iron Pick has been killed. And now we move to claim Vulture Mountain. I had to do a quick jump cut. The cat decided to jump up and knock over my mic, so here we are. So the defenders of Greybeard Mountain have already been worn down to nearly no one left, so we will march in and slaughter them all. Thick Skullson has mined his last gem. We will occupy Vulture Mountain. It belongs to Settra. And I won't lie, it is a bit interesting that the Tomb Kings have issues with the mountains, because their kingdom does spread into the mountains in lore, so it is interesting that they lose a bit of productivity and whatnot. He is known as I think it's the Sultan of the Adelan Mountains. Anyway, another storm of necromancy kicks off, and the Greybeards prospectors have been consigned to oblivion. Perfect. Let's pass out some more skill points. For Settra, we definitely want to go for hard to hit. Keep him nice and spry in combat. And then for Nekaph, we just give him Indomitable, Prince Apophis, the Blade Master, and Nebethar. Training's maxed out, his canopic jars are maxed out. I think we will now work on his leadership. He is at a mere 78 compared to the others. Perfect, and that is the Vulture Mountain claimed. We will go ahead and devote worship to Ptra. Give us more movement and growth. Prince Anuris, we're going to have you try to chase down Minkare here, so we'll have you go over to assassinate. Only a 37% chance. Ooh, another failure. It's only a matter of time, Minkare. We've got one more turn before Sehenismet is able to move on Thrug. Let's try... What about you, Hikenerus? Can you assassinate Minkare? Nay. Absolutely cannot. Probably because we already had a failure this turn. Okay, in that case, I think at the Black Tower... I'm not sure. I think we'll go ahead and leave that off for now. Nekaph is ready to defend. What we'll have is just swing up to Senuferet then. Have him keep on exploring. I think Bellacor's already opened up a Shadow Rift over here in Drycha's area. Someone's going to take him out eventually. We are lowering corruption as we wander around. And it looks like the good old Sylvania is doing very well. Claimed a good bit of land for themselves, moved up into Essen, Mordheim, and Nagenhof. They've got some work cut out for them. Then with some of our spoils of war, we shall go ahead and put in the Pyramid of King Tutankhamun, giving us extra replenishment rate and growth in all of our provinces, as well as the other technological and whatnot advantages that we gain. And then we will go ahead and max out the Mortiferous Sanctuary, giving us 2% additional research rate and then control in adjacent provinces. And then access to much more carrion when we do have access to our Corsair.
Your petition has reached the Great King and is found wanting.
So Findle. They have ended our non-aggression pact with us once again. We are deteriorating quickly. A blend of aversion and strategic threat. We may be having enemies on all sides. I'd like this reliability to start ticking up. It went from very low to low quickly, but now we are not replenishing quickly at all. It is most likely because of the amount of land we are claiming, and we are now a major threat. So we are going to have to deal with what comes with that. Others are jealous. Pride in service. Though long dead, the kingly guardians can be reminded of their oaths of service made in ages past, invigorating them for battle. White. And now we swing in here, and we shall grab... Now, the 4th Dynasty Proclamation is not all that great. We could also grab Lazimash, which gives additional use to Ushabti. Which, to be honest, Lazimash is not Sehenismet, so he'll have to wait. He does give us access to more Ushabti overall, though, so not a bad idea to have him. We'll grab Stronger Binding for now, though. This will give us armor, weapon strength, and the Funeral Rites of Assyrian upgrade. We have 5,000 gold rattling around now. So let's have Onuris try once again to assassinate Minkare. It's an even lower chance now. You can do it. Well done, Prince Onuris. Third time's the charm. Herald of Joff, we managed to gain another brass cleaver and 20 more canopic jars. Well done, lad. We shall give you Woundmaker to increase that overall weapon strength, and then we'll have Sahenismet move on Thrug and the Great Desert Camp of Araby. We blended those words up, but you know, the overall goal, some Noblars and a Tyrant, they have been crushed.
To battle for the Creator God.
Then we'll grab Endless March. The Sandgrinder and his tribe of exiles are no more. Slaughtered and left in the sand for the carrion. Nehekara will no longer suffer thieves and scavengers. Every last coin stolen from our tombs while Settra slept will be returned in blood. Because I would like to get Sahenismat back over into the area with all of our constructs, so we can start putting them in for much less time. Looks like Archon is trying to go for an attack on the Great Desert, so we may have to wait on that one. Thrug was killed, and the Famished have been exiled to oblivion.
Your will.
Okay, well, we will jump into March and get moving back towards the Great Desert, because clearly they would like to claim that from us. And we shall go ahead and max out the Pit of Shades, because it's going to be a very good unit or spell to knock out a whole formation of units at the same time. And for Settra, we'll give him Tomb Strike, making him an absolute monster in combat. We'll get there. So we could turn and go after Archon, or head over this direction and jump into ambush to try to catch a few of them. I think that that is a cowardly strategy, and we are just going to crash into Hierophant Lysimachus, stretching my syllabical skills. Get him. Flaming wheels in tow, so defending the town are... Ooh, do they have walls? Are we going to have to be claiming an actual settlement? Yes, this battle is going to be at the on a battle map then. Okay, so they've got a good deal of Crypt Ghouls, some chariots for us to bog down, Necropolis Knights with halberds, which are going to be anti-large, and the Necropolis Knights that are not. So we have to deal with... There's a good deal of units here for us to work through. But if we take it slow and rely on the power of the Great King, we should have no trouble. Let's get in there. All who will not bow must be purged. To war, legions. Let's do it. We'll start things off in slow motion. We have the hero core that I generally roll with, the Tomb Princes and Settra charging straight down the middle. They're going to get into these skeleton chariot archers and do as much damage as they can. They have all sorts of nasties hanging out in town. They've got a Necrotect off to the side, luckily not with his constructs, as he should be. Their skeleton archers getting to fire directly down into my chariots before they're able to really move and avoid that damage. They've got a Screaming Skull Catapult and their other artillery in the center here, and it's going to be doing good damage the entire time here, unless we're able to shut it down. Same thing with these Screaming Skull Catapults, although they do a little bit less damage overall. We've got also some chariots coming in from the other side here. I was going to use these guys just to whittle away at any kind of large units they may have. Got quite a bit of missile strength each shot, so them focus firing down on one unit can do some fair damage. Let him get rolling on in. Office has already hit him with an entangling body, and a shot of souls has come on in as well. These archers are going to have the worst day. Knocked over their Lich Priest first. Settra has also engaged with his chariot archers over here as they explode in droves. Rights of Assyrian helping on out, making sure they can't escape. Well, it looks like this group is willing to stick in and fight. The compulsory surrender going down because I know Felbats have quite a bit less overall leadership than usual. And if we could just drop that down and start them crumbling, it gets rid of them much quicker. The Archer Chariot's moving on in now to try to claim some points and continue to harry the enemy where and when we can. I'm just saying this Chariot's took a good bit of damage before they were able to retreat one away. I did not see they were getting shot at from the start there, and what happens when two of them are focus firing down on one unit. With the retreating enemy moving on over to assist with the Necrosphinx, I figured we could get some beautiful rear charges in with our chariots. So they're going to try to scoot on by as the Necrosphinx moves on in. With a pretty lackluster charge, hitting just about nobody. But the follow-up swing doing all of the damage. They're not quite as good against infantry units, but they perform just fine. Especially with fire damage and magical. So our poor skeleton horses are getting coated in arrows. And they will continue to do so until we put down those chariots that are in the way. They're just heavy enough to stay and bog our soldiers down. While the chariot archers are trying to claim the zone, we do have some Necropolis Knights moving on over to assist as the invocation drops down behind there. Let's see if we can actually see that statue fall. Here it comes. Just a golden hate statue dropping down from the heavens. Right on top of these hapless Nekharan archers. And a extremely frame-dropping explosion. Get me out of here, quick. Ooh, those gold particles. But the lads got blasted apart. And then when we take on back to see how much damage, is this worth 20 winds of magic? I'm not sure. I'll have to try it on something that's a little bit more heavily armored. On a very, very large clump of dudes, I'm sure you can get a lot of lot of kills. Problem is the AoE on that is quite small. So when it drops down and explodes, it doesn't quite do as much as I'm expecting. So maybe if I try using it on artillery pieces next, we may be a bit more pleased with the damage we're seeing. The Necropolis Knights have moved in with their halberds and are going to do a ton of damage to our chariots. We need to get them out of there quickly if we are going to keep them alive. Got Necropolis Knights moving in from across the board here. We've got lots to deal with. Chariots are rolling on in together as my reinforcements arrive as well. Slam into the back of their chariots, but they also have some reinforcements, so it's going to be a chariot mashup here in a moment. Luckily, to balance the odds, we have the Necrosphinx, which hates large units. And unfortunately for these chariots, they count. Each swing exploding a single chariot. In the back here, ours are actually holding their own, but we want to pull them away because we also have the Necroserpents charging on in, and they will make quick work of our chariots overall. We have a new target for our Necrosphinx, one that's a bit more worth his stature. Start sharpening those blades on the Cobra hoods. We're going to leave this group and put things in slow-mo, because there's an absolute ton going on in this battle right now. We've got chariots moving on in to crush archers. Just, if there is a unit that is exposed, we want to be hitting it with wheels. Spearmen doing their best to bog us down, but since they are not standing still and bracing, they are going to be almost no resistance. And Apophis is doing battle with some Ushabti. Since he has such high weapon strength, I figure each swing is going to be killing a model at least. And so that's going to stop any healing they may try to do on these Ushabti units. And another Ushabti falls. Each swing, pretty much each swing is going to be killing a singular one. We did end up losing our chariots. They were not quite able to escape the Necropolis Knights, who moved quite a bit faster than them. And so they shall remain forever buried in the city. Sadly for them. We do have the other group of chariots still left alive, and so they can hopefully charge on in and do some damage to these soft crypt ghoul targets and get on over to these archers soon. Just rotate over as fast as they can. Another obligatory surrender going down just to try to lower the leadership, but our enemy's leadership has pretty much, as soon as we drop it down, it goes immediately back up, even while the thing was active. It was kind of interesting. So I don't know if that's a bug. We will keep an eye on it in the future, or just the AI gets that much more leadership than we do. Settra has located their lord and their artillery piece. I think we should have probably committed here and gone through in and after the Casket of Souls. you shall see what happens. We do run the Lich Priest down a couple times here. Man, we're having a lot of stuttering. I'm gonna keep an eye on that. Chop of the halberd. He's trying to give these guys some extra abilities. It's just not working out for him. So Settra's gonna pull on away because I see the Necropolis Knights and Sepulchral Stalkers moving on over. Well, just the Sepulchral Stalkers and the Crypt Horrors. So we want to get him with units that can keep him protected, while also doing as much damage as possible. Nehekar warriors getting the shaft. And then Prince Nebathar chasing off the archers. We just don't want any of them to continue to fire. Any free damage on our lads is unacceptable. Nekaph is going to continue to hold down the fort on this side. And the duel with the Necrosphinx and the Serpents is going quite in our favor. Many of the Serpents lay on the ground defeated. If we can get any of their death animations. We don't have it in slow-mo kind of regularly. We miss stuff, but... gruesome swipe. Doing a lot of bouncing them around, but not a lot of them are falling. We just have to get through all that health. They are tanky units. It looks like he's mostly targeting the crypt ghouls underneath them. As we lean on out, the leadership on those serpents is starting to break. Now Tomb Prince is doing battle with a squad of Tomb Guard. Taking many wounds. Getting the shield bash in on the boys, though. Keep slicing him on up. We have a battle going on between Nehekar warriors and Tomb Guard, which is fairly even. Tomb Guard are going to win that one just because of their armor and their better stats, but if they had some support, the warriors could probably pull that one off. They've got some archers that are having a really, really bad day, getting filled in the back with arrows. Another volley going in. You gotta deflect those with those big old tower shields you got. Some Sepulchral Stalkers sneaking around. We really can't see these guys, so they are going to be going all the way around and attempting to attack in on our rear there. Ascot of Souls has been wreaking havoc on our archers this entire game. Luckily, it's been only caring about these arrows of Tra, and not really focusing on any more of our blobbed up infantrymen. Crypt Ghouls are doing battle with our Tomb Guard. Crypt Horrors would be what these are, the larger variant. We're going to get them bogged down while we wait for our Halberds to rotate in and assist. As well as the Necrosphinx. Can't fight a Necrosphinx. Can't fight Settra either. We've got the Blessed Blade active, so we have flaming attacks, magic attacks, and our enemies are going to be blinded. So that will be shutting down their regeneration just a little bit there. Cutting it down by half. An area of effect swing, taking down Crypt Horrors and Skeleton Spearmen alike. Searing Wrath. And some more Tomb Swarm appear in the air above. Try to help tear down these Crypt Horrors. Once I remember that they have been summoned. Getting another beautiful shot in on our lads, unfortunately. But it looks like the enemy leadership has officially broken. They are down to a few units left. And they've realized that the fight is hopeless. 362 kills going down on Settra, 89 for Prince of Office. Tomb Swarm descend and rip the last bits of health off of their lords. A marvelous victory for Khemri. Not an easy battle by any means. We did lose the second chariots of Settra as well as the wheels of Tra. They shall be returned in time. Did take a little bit of damage, but we did manage to rout the entire army with only losing the 2 chariot groups, so I would take that as a extreme victory. 2,900 fell, some very elite units in here, and we got bombarded by the Casket of Souls, as you would expect. Blasted our poor skeleton boys apart. We gained 8,000 experience for Settra and packed 6 of them into jars. We will go ahead and claim the Sorcerers' Islands for the Great King. Storm of Necromancy kicks up. Fair enough. The Sorcerer's Islands back under our control. I think what I'm going to go for, since this is a completely exposed settlement here, we're going to go for the walls just to keep it safe. For Settra, since he's going to be sitting here for a turn or two, I don't want to... I'd like to recruit in the chariots again before we get moving. Let's go ahead and give him a Woundmaker. We get this at, what, rank 41, which gives us Deirdre's Incantation of the Eternal Dead. Damage per second. Leadership Mega is 18. That's very, very, very strong. Alright, so let's go ahead and go for Woundmaker, as I said. For Nekaph, we have finished off Indomitable, so I think we will go for... Well, Mentor, he's a Tomb Prince. This would pass out to all the other Tomb Princes. I think we'll grab Mentor, and then we'll grab Devastating Charge. Or we'll go for Mentor and Canophic Jar Hoarder, since the charge itself isn't... I mean, it's already at 87. We can only increase that further, but for now, we'll grab the additional jar usage, or jar generation. You also do count as a Tomb Prince, so... we may go ahead and give you the Mentor as well, just so all Tomb Prince experiences is boosted. Nebathar, though. We will go ahead and give him the double points into Indomitable, taking his leadership up to 86. He already has himself a Brass Cleaver. We're almost where we have enough Canophic Jars for another army. Slowly but surely we will pack the people into the jars. The town of Coffer is the one I would like to upgrade next to get access to the increased harbor there. And then Sehenizmet is in March stance, neither of them can really move. We have multiple armies messing around up here at the Wizard Caliph's palace, but I think they will probably all coalesce and await Settra's arrival. That would be their smartest plan, but maybe not the one they go for. We will want to replenish up for at least a turn or two, so we will take the time to recruit back in the chariots we lost. And then we can come over to King Nekaph. Looks like Starbrand is going to sit just outside. Oh, is that taking away half of his... I mean, he may be able to make it to Numos, but he may not. We know for a fact Krolgan is in town, but I'm not sure what his plan is. So instead, we're going to stay outside of Numos. If they would like to stay in our area and take some attrition, far be it from me to tell them no. Nekaph will stay outside of Numos and prepare to attack. We can see if we can just assault some of these units.
They will fear us.
They shall.
Curse the scavenger god!
Or you failed. The scavenger god shouldn't be the one you're praying to be blowing up dudes. King Far has almost had... oh, hang on now. We can't lose Qatar after just putting in this pyramid. We've got one going in at Numos as well. Yeah, Starbrand is taking now to attack, of course. We shall deal. I also think if we have the gold, we may pass off a deal or a gift to Aqua to make sure that they don't get rid of the trade agreement that we just had with them. I will pay you... oh, a small gift is 2,000. Greedy lizards you are. The turn again falls to us, and Starbrand has disappeared. The enemy's been using quite a bit of sneaky tactics to face us this time. Let's go ahead and take a look over here, see where he's hiding. Hoping
Listen.
Maybe Dragon Slayer has chased him off. I can't trust it, so King Nekaph is going to stay close to Numas so we can defend if we need to. And we'll just allow Krolgan to, I guess, run around and... Only corn. Good luck, buddy. Have a good time running around in our town doing nothing. The Black Tower of Archon, we shall put in... Yeah, I always have the indecision when it comes to the Black Tower. I think we will wait. We'll continue to wait. We need the settlement itself to be higher tier before we put in some more items there. We'll go for the Mastaba here at the Great Desert, though. And, we've got Senismet in ambush stance, waiting to try to get Archon. He is going to start do some raiding up at the top. And Settra's got one more turn before these chariots arrive. So where else can we make that money? Zandri could give us Potter's Hut, as well as we've got a Pyramid of King Amenemhetem. That will give us the Corsair Legion, the Tomb Corsairs, and then the Vulture Legion. I think it just unlocks them, period. Yeah, we get... As long as you're Khemri. Interesting. As long as you're Khemri, you get access to the Tomb Card. Or the Tomb Guard Corsairs. We need 6,000 for that one. We'll put that in after. We'll grab the Potter's Hut for now, and we can delete the Regnant Catacombs later on. And just replace that. Pools of Despair, I think I'm going to continue to leave as is, which is sad for them. They don't have a lot of choice, though. Zandri, we may go ahead and put in the Grave Port. Or I'll just check over here at Numas and Kosovar, make sure there's nothing good we can put in. Ontok, since we don't know if the Lizardmen are going to be hostile, I think walls are going to be a good idea just to be safe. And we can check in an Avenue of Monuments since we don't have quite enough for the other buildings. Because this will give us enough for, at least this will give us some more gold. They're building up.
Speak briefly.
I really like our reliability to start ticking up now. We will get there.
I have conquered your city-state before. Should I do so again?
We gotta quit threatening the High Queen before we fight her. She would like military access, and she currently would be one of our only allies at the moment. We've got to get this reliability higher, so I'm gonna have to deny this for now, just because we will be fighting at some point. The turn once again falls to Settra, and our dynasty research has been completed. With minor adjustments to everyday incantations, the dead may be made to rise again with greater vigor than they ever knew in life.
On your knees.
Got some more skill points for our Necrotect, and I think we will go for just giving us all the bonuses for the constructs from now. I think is a good idea, and we can start working towards the actual passive bonuses next, like mobility and income. Alright, so clearly Archon is hiding somewhere over here. Am I concerned about a ambush? I've got lots of constructs. I just don't want to get attacked or let him sneak around behind us. Which is definitely what he's going to be trying. Okay, so first we'll have Settra come on over. We raid. I'd love to do some raiding. There's Archon, we found him.
I shall take your advice.
Perfect. Yes, no, we're going to move as a combined force here to finish off Archon, not Senismet, he's on our team already. We'll move in as a combined force to finish off Archon. And actually, we can do some sneaky maneuvers here. The Great King is known to outplay his opponents, although Archon looks like he's running for his life. We'll see. We've got 76 gold to deal with, and this army is so small, and it's willing to sit over here and raid. Fair enough. We'll have the prince continue to kind of look around. I'm really not trying to get jumped by Skarbrand. Where did he go? He can see a really long ways, too. I'm hoping that army got wiped out, but I'm almost positive they're in ambush somewhere over there. We're just going to leave Krolgan for now. And we'll scoot a little bit further up the road, I guess. And we'll continue to let Nekaph sit there and ambush and wait. Not a very glamorous job, but it is his. And we'll save the growth there. We may start taking out the growth buildings, but I'd like to get up to tier 5 before we do that. Kasabar's walls are looking good. Ludenberg could be taken up to a tier 4 city. Let's do that. Then the Black Tower. Still going to kind of leave as is, I believe. Yep. One of the next things we need to build very soon. So as soon as we are able to upgrade this to a tier 5, the next thing we want to put in, and one of the others, if we can do it first, is one of the Nehekaran Citadels. Gives us access to the Bone Giant, which is a fair unit. But what we're really looking for is the Rite of Geheb. Gives us so basically it gives us 10 jars, 30 growth for 10 turns, 25% less construction time, and then Tomb Swarm for all of our armies. For our dynastic research, we can grab Lazamash, but I think it's time to start grabbing another dynasty. His Honor to Fallen only drops... Oh, hang on, that drops the right cost for a new dynasty. We'll go for Alcatazar's Honored Fallen first. Replenishment rate for Tomb Guard and Royal Guard sounds good, and then 1 additional Tomb Prince. Can never go poorly. We're up to 5 Tomb Princes total. Princes everywhere. And then Senuferet, our spies, continuing to make us new enemies because of our strategic threat and aversion. So we'll soon be at war with the world, don't worry. But I do plan on subjugating the Empire. We're not going to destroy them. They belong as our vassals. Settra has become a super ambusher. This one's enemies beware because there's no telling where they might be lying in wait. Yes, quite. Feels like the sandstorm is kicked in full gear. It's very loud now. Reichland has claimed Pelabekland. And we have a wandering monster in Martek. No matter your dominance of the realms, there will always be creatures that prowl the forests or roam the plains. One of these beasts is attacking and feeding upon your people. Negative growth. Many's eating a lot of people. The hungry hippo running around. Alright, Sinismet, I'd like to have you lead the force. Settra will arrive later on to see the place conquered. Although we could just move in and attack King Onlams here and have Sinismet moving in as reinforcing. Let's do that. So Sinismet, move on over. Oh, we may have to maneuver these circles a little bit funkily. Let's see how this works. So if we move in on King Onlams, he would not assist, but we can move over on Hierophant. Duyit. If we can actually make this. This is a really long jaunt here. Oh, he's out of here. Hierophant Petuyit wants nothing of it. Well, we'll go ahead and have Sinismet finish him off first, so no reinforcing armies show up. Crush. He can step on the whole army solo. We will harvest their organs. Operating in our lands, you rascal. And then we bring ourselves back over to the town, and he can just assist in the siege. We haven't had a good siege against a Tomb King settlement yet, so the Wizard Caliph's Palace will be the one and only. Archon the Black sits behind his walls with a meager force of skeletons. The garrison is quite deadly. He's got some Royal Archers, which are basically looks like a poisoned version of the Lothern Sea Guard, more or less. 190 range is a lot. And then the Screaming Skull Catapult. We've got there's some deck gunners as well. That's quite interesting. Aha, let's get them. And so it comes time to eliminate Archon the Black. The Royal Guard, rather, have already shot out a volley of arrows. They are going to be an incredibly deadly unit that I had not gotten to fight against and had not gotten to experience the full might yet. So we shall get to experience that once we kick into slow motion. Things will immediately start off. Those arrows are incredibly accurate and they shoot very fast. So the first volley is coming straight on down as soon as the battle begins. Didn't even have time to react. And that's how much damage a single volley did. And it does it to both. We can swing it on over here. Ouch. Yeah, that's no joke. Cannot wait to get some of them in our forces, especially once we defeat the forces of Lamia, because putting Khalida with the Royal Guard archers is going to be devastating. They're going to continue to fire at Settra. They don't do quite as much damage to the Great King. I have a majority of my army back here in the back to try to avoid a lot of splash damage from towers. We are very, very susceptible to splash damage, and with that reduced leadership, I just didn't want to take extended volleys for no reason. That's why all of our single entities are up front to do most of the absorbing of that. The second volley is already going away, and another huge chunk of damage goes on the chariots before I could even react. Lots of fun. The Henizmet is going to be retreating, or reinforcing from the side over here, rather. They're going to be spreading out that poison love, just doing a ton of damage. That is going to be a very fun unit to use. Doing as much dodging as I can, the Great King has hit the gates. They shall be through in no time. I've got a Assyrian's Kepra Swarm trying to chase the archers off the wall so they stop doing what they're doing. The beetles land on in. They should do a lot of damage, honestly. The Royal Guard actually fight very well in combat. It looks like I actually activated the wrong ability there. This is the Livor Mortis. I was mistaken. The gates have bust on open, and in march Settra and the Necrosphinx. Archon was hanging out over on this side of the walls, but he has decided that a fight with Settra and a Necrosphinx is really, really not on his to-do list, so he's going to retreat. Cast some spells, possibly somewhere else. A nice volley coming on in. I had my artillery focusing down on there so we could mash it out of there as fast as we could. And Settra and the forces scream on in, all selecting different targets. Settra's main one was the chariots there, while everyone else went after the individual infantry. Kepra Swarm has decided it is going to start fading on away, sadly. And the Ushabti are getting to duel with their superiors. Each swipe of those blades cleaving souls from Construct Body. And again, we just wanted to keep these troops back. We saw the damage of the Royal Archers, and I really did not want to tangle with them unless we could charge in and get into combat really quickly. So these chariots are rotating on over to try to start chewing on these gates. They have the deck gunners as well to help out, but they have to have pretty straight line of sight, so hard for them to get a very good angle here in the town unless they can retreat quite a ways. The bats charging on down in, and Royal Archers, they have hate in their eyes, and they have located Settra, started to laser beam on in as he chops away at some direwolf doggos. Nom-nomming on him with the quad horses. We're surrounded by bats as well. Bats are quickly being torn to shreds. Skull catapults are retreating. Enemy reinforcements are coming on in from the high ground here. They usually will reinforce from up top unless you get lucky and then get them outside and you can corner them and blast them apart with artillery. So this purple-clad individual is going to be riding on into combat. Gates are still pretty healthy on this side, and no one has arrived over here. So Henizmet's army strides in to battle. We were sending all of the Ushabti after the single gatehouse over on this side with the bowmen behind. And then everything else was just streaming on over. I was going to send the infantry over these walls with Onuris, and then the Lich Priest to knock down this gate. That's going to take a moment for them to reach the walls, and they need to do so quickly. Their chariots wait for combat. As ours fire on over, we are getting blasted apart by their towers. As you can see, those explosive damage does a good deal of damage to just individual skeleton archers. We're going to need to get our Tomb Guard archers rather soon. The Wrath of Draw. Ignited. Or maybe not. He was casting spells. Gates are still incredibly healthy. They don't get there through them very quickly on their chariots. Lich Priest is charging on over on horseback. They've got two lords up top just waiting. Pacing around. The bloodlust is in their eyes. They've got several lords over here on this side for us to be mopping up. So Henizmet is going to ignore them and send the majority of his construct forces over to take down this gate. God, the Ushabti are such awesome units. Can't wait till we can get some of the ancient Ushabti that look more like this across the board. They've got that bonus versus large, and they rip people in half. Got the lovely Disciples of Draw, and our infantry charging on in to the walls. Onuris leading the charge as usual. Get in there, lad. We still were being very cautious with chariots just because we saw the sheer power of those royal archers. And so this was what had happened earlier on. You will see, we end up, he gets jumped by these two. I wasn't expecting them to send them out beyond the walls. And we will see if I can retreat him in time. The gatehouse is still taking its damage little by little. Let's get back over into one of the real fights. We've got dire wolves and crypt ghouls fighting against our Necrosphinx with some archer support. They're gonna have the worst day. Both blades plunging in. That's friendly fire, brother. This way. There you go. And another swing, please. Oh, the plunge works. Basically, just need them to move up behind, and as he beats them down and bashes their unit around, they can charge in behind and slash apart units that are not paying attention or laying on the ground. So be it indeed. They are winning that fight handily. Nekaph is doing the chariot wiggle with some crypt ghouls. Winning that fight easily as well. And Settra is being absolutely laser beamed by 2 units of royal archers at the same time. Look how accurate they are. Look at the slow-mo. They've even got tracer rounds. So there's this individual white arrow in and amongst the poison. Yeah, they're hitting him pretty much laser beam dead on every single shot. Those royal archers are going to be an issue, and we need to shut them down quickly. Fortunately, the gates are taking their time to fall. The enemy decided to summon Ushabti on top of Prince Nebethar, which was an interesting choice. And he is going to need to retreat to get away from them. I think he could even probably stick it in fight if he really wanted, but I prefer to keep him safe. If we didn't, I didn't catch it in time, but our Lich Priest did get completely assassinated by these two. I didn't expect them to jog down beyond the walls. Usually the enemy stays behind their gates. These two came out behind the gates and sucker punched our Lich Priest in the face. No mercy. We've got arrows, all sorts of beautiful arrows hitting the wall. It's going to be very ineffective just because they need a little bit better line of sight. And the Disciples of Betraw kind of wasting their flamethrower shots as well. The Ushabti are quickly nom-nomming through those gates. They are the giant construct beavers. It'd be cool if Sehenizmet had, I don't know if he's tall enough to have Wallbreaker, and if he does have Wallbreaker and I didn't use it. You have Wallbreaker, brother, I'm going to be upset with you. No, but I actually think he... Oh, he does. Okay, we'll have to remember that going forward. Sehenizmet could have chopped right through the walls. We wouldn't have had to sit there and wait. I would have gone through over here with them. Hindsight being what it is. Let's come on over to see the king dueling with the Necrosphinx. Not a fight that a king usually wants to take, but gotta prove your bravery somehow. But can you survive? Oh, discretion being the better part of valor, but the horse trips and betrays the king. Onward. We have more enemies to slay. Arkan running away as fast as he can, while the Hex Rays prepare. Settra's got magical attacks, and so does the Sphinx. I think they are going to want to retreat as quickly as they can. But of course the AI is not about it. Dive in and chop them up. Spectral Rider being launched from their mount. We're having a hard time with the camera here because of the canyon walls. There we go. An amazing slash. They should be killing through this group pretty quickly. The ultimate tag team to deal with your Hex Wraiths. Team Ghostbuster. Onuris is locating the Tomb Prince that ended his friend's life, and he is going to be seeking and destroying. He could fight probably every single one of the heroes same time, and he would still end up winning. I have that kind of confidence in the son of Settra. We've got some Ushabti. There are so many Ushabti here that even though these bonus versus large Tomb Guard, they're not going to hold. There's simply too much here. And they will continue to smash through. We're going to try to claim that capture point. Just shut down these towers from being built if we can help it. Their deck guns are still trying to find a good shot, and they're really having a hard time doing so. The Royal Archers have located different targets, but now they are more or less free and clear. All of the chariots are going to be rolling in together. We'll have Nepathar killing the enemy chariots, while ours move past and crush the individual Royal Archers that are been giving us so much hurt this whole battle. Apophis and the X-Rays do end up countering each other. Normally not a fight he would want to take until he has a little bit more levels up on him, but he can handle these X-Rays no problem, especially with his Tomb Guard allies. They're so accurate, they're completely hitting only our chariots. So we're going to have to hurry up and get past them, shut that nonsense down. Our Casket of Souls has been raining death down on them the whole time, but it's been having a hard time actually landing good shots. Another volley out. Going to be picking its soft targets in the chariots and doing good work every single shot. Pretty much landing. We have a return volley smashing into the rear of the unit. You are surrounded now. What's the plan? Chariots have yet to be given an order, and this is what happens when you leave them be for even a moment. The enemy chariots are gone. And the activation... Come on, guys, go! You can't just keep getting volleyed like that. The enemy runs. Some of our own Tomb Guard just getting stepped on by the Ushabti, hitting them with the shoulder. And not gonna get cut up by anyone. Now the chariots roll in. Finally ending the menace that was the Royal Archers. Riding them down. They did good damage, but now that we've caught them, that'll be over. Cutting down this group. Quickly, we've got a combination of foot soldiers and chariot that'll make short work of that group. The only thing standing between them here are these spearmen, which are starting to crumble away. Archon the Black has fallen, and we didn't even get to see his death. Sadly, we got to see it before, but I'd hoped. Just some spearmen versus Settra. You should have known that would not be enough. Henizmet didn't even really get to fight, unfortunately, but we got some more. Smash him up. Doom Prince versus Ushabti is never a fight that they are going to enjoy. Not against that many, at least. And the Isles soon shall fall to us. The last of their forces crumbling away to dust. The great necromancer Nagash had already been judged and found wanting. Brought low by a single man and some rats. Is it of any surprise, then, that his right hand was defeated at every turn, outmaneuvered, and ultimately, his last stronghold claimed by Settra? Time will tell if Archon will be willing to bend the knee or be destroyed. Only one final Nehekaran kingdom stands against us. In the battle, we ended up losing our Lich Priest Berekt. My attention was split just between a little bit too much going on in the battle, so we ended up losing the fella. It is sad, but he shall be remembered. Or the conquering of the Wizard Kalos Palace. No reason to sack the settlement. I'm fine with deleting the buildings we don't want. Berekt has been wounded. Oh, he's coming back. Perfect. That's even better. Henizmet gained a Ushabti bodyguard. Actually, I think he already has one of those, but we have now secured the land of the Assassins. Another storm of necromancy kicks off. And the followers of Nagash are destroyed. The final kingdom that lies outside of Settra's control is Labatis, and they will learn. They will serve one way or the other. Over here and grab Jedra's Incantation of the Eternal Dead, giving us one. It has one use, and it's worth 40 winds of magic. But it affects literally every in range, so 60 meters, and it lasts for 21 seconds. Fatigue, melee attack, vigor per second. Oh, that's a lot of vigor. And they can't move. So yes, we'll definitely grab that, and then grab a Wound Maker. So Settra's up to 733 weapon strength. Bonus versus infantry weapon strength at that. For Nekaph. Yeah, so I think we start working on the charge. We'll max out charge, then go down to the Canopic Jar. Then we can start working on training, so that way if we ever lose any more of our chariots, they can get back up to those gold chevrons even faster. We will do the same over here with Prince of Office. Just grab 2 points into the Devastating Charge. That is what we'll do. And then for Nebethar, we've got lots of points to pass out. Nebethar is looking good. We'll go for Ceremonial Bandages. And as Met, we can give him all sorts of good stuff. The Lich Dreadnoughts are something I'm thinking we probably will go for. Gives perfect vigor for lots of good stuff. We also need to get over there and give him access to more of the Kepra Swarm. So it looks like for Sahinismet's army, we're going to end up removing Onuris. We're going to keep a priest as well as the Necrotect. And then the entire army is going to be either Usiriat, like the Scarabs, or Constructs. So we will get him set up properly. So we'll continue to work towards, I think we'll continue to work towards Stonemasonry, just to make those Ushabti much stronger. Then we'll get Hikanorus here. Yes, Hikanorus has all the delicious passive abilities, so we will continue to wait till we have the Inscription of Repair. We have 4 skill points, so we'll go for... We'll just grab both of these.
My dynasty.
Then Onuris. We will finish off Wound Maker. And then we can start working on training. Or we just give him a bit more armor. We'll go for speed first, and then we can work down armor, because the next Over My Dead Body just gives hit points. We will grab that one last. Perfect. So here at the Wizard Caliph's Palace, we do have statues of Quaff, so we have all of the Ushabti available. And then the Skull Repository for even more chariots. We may do a bit of redesigning here, and it is sad that there's no landmark at the Wizard Caliph's Palace. I do believe it is actually for Araby, though, so I guess it would make sense. It's not a Nehekaran city, I don't believe. I will go ahead and put in the Citadel here, though, because that gives us access to the right that we want. And then we will do some, probably some redesigning here. For Sahinismet's army of Ushabti, we are definitely going to go ahead and remove a good deal of these chariots. We're going to replace them all with Necropolis Knights and the like, so all of the chariots and all of the Tomb Guard as well, minus the ones that have the Hawk Legion. These guys are staying with us, and we're going to try to pass them off to another army. So all of them are going to go, which is sad to see. And then we are going to go in here and quickly replace those we lost. So we got 7 access to 7 more, so we'll go 2 of the Ushabti agents, because these have a bonus versus large and an armor sundering melee attack, so they're amazing. We've got 3 current Ushabti of the normal variety, 3 bowmen. We have access to 5 more slots. We definitely want some Necropolis Knights with halberds. Bonus versus large is going to be very important. We'll grab 1 more unit of bows. And then 1 more Sepulchral Stalkers, which we will probably replace with the Serpent Guard later on. They bonus versus... Oh, these are the Serpent Guard. Never mind. These guys are bonus versus infantry. I just think we will be replacing the normal Ushabti later on then, perhaps. Too many good constructs to want to put in this army, and we don't have enough... unit slots, unfortunately. Yeah, so we'll just go for one more unit of Ushabti then. So we've got a 4-man front line. And with the last of our gold, we will go ahead and put in a grave port here at Zandri, just to continue to increase our overall income. 6,000 is quite a bit. Alright, we have one last hero who hasn't moved. It's probably Amos here. We need to put him into Wakaph's army, who is still up in the north. I've moved him a bit further up into the Badlands. That way we can strike out against them if we want. Looks like Dragon Slayer is concerned about what's defending. Dude, go in there and fight. What are you doing? Just bullying them. Up in our northern provinces here. Don't yet belong to us, but they shall. We'll have to defend them from chaos, or maybe we won't get here in time and we'll have to take it back from them, and then we will just own it for ourselves. I was going to kind of stop at the wasteland areas. It says we have access to wasteland and savanna. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't know where any savanna climate actually is on the map. I see lots of desert and wasteland. So we will continue to kind of look around. Anything that is unpleasant, I don't mind settling. If it is fully uninhabitable, we will not obviously claim it.
Take in my majesty, unquail creature. Settra speaks.
That's right. We no longer have need of you. Tic-tac-toe, I don't think you want to do this. Be careful. Refugees of war. The followers of Nagash seek refuge in exchange for their service. Under your banner. We could recruit Archon into the army. See, that's a decision that we will decide to recruit him later on. I'll let you all decide. Should we recruit Archon? He is deciding to kneel after losing, so that is something Settra would probably do. But we'll let you all decide if we recruit on up Archon and himself an army. Legendary Lord available. Alright, so we've got one more turn before all of our lads come on in. I probably could have done the global instead, and that would have gotten it done in the exact same amount of time. For the Ushabti, that is. Solar 8. We'll make do. So Sinizmet is stuck here for another turn. And we can't quite see what's out to the ocean just yet. But I think for now, we're not going to worry about what's going on in the ocean. We need to probably quickly rotate over to see what Tic-Tac-Toe is going to get up to. So, march stance for Settra. Let's get back over into the other parts of our lands. We will keep saving growth to get up to the necropolis here at the Wizard Caliph's Palace. Although we can get some more pottery there, and the Sorcerer's Island would give us a better port, but I think we wait. Vulture Mountain can also use some upgrades. I think we should go for walls just to be safe. I don't need any kind of random armies popping up and exploding one of our very weak garrisons. Al-Hayat can be upgraded, and we absolutely shall. And we don't have the cash for the salt mines. Same thing over here. We're going to have to do some battle for the cash. Our next goal is going to be claiming the Black Pyramid, even though they were very friendly towards us. Oh, not anymore. They were very friendly. I think they realized that their time is nigh. He has reclaimed Karag Orund. So I think we will bring King Nekaph back over, because he could be hiding at Gorgazon. We'll swing back this direction in March Dance. We'll make some ballsy maneuvers here. We may not even include King Nekaph in the Black Period of Nagash siege. We may just have him press up north and start claiming some wasteland territory for us. Alright. The Nuferet in the north, we gotta find Reichland if we can. That is what I am looking for. Oh, here we go.
The nation calls.
The Emperor already has located Gal Maraz. Got himself some sundering attacks, which would make sense. All Warhammers should have sundering attacks naturally, just because of how they are. You get hit in the with a piece of metal with that, and it bends inward. So that would be armor sundering. We will go ahead and come into here, and the most expendable unit is actually, sadly, Probably the Golden Host.
I deem it.
We'll get rid of the Golden Host, and Amos will come on in and join King Nekaph. Got one last hero who has not moved, and I'm using him to kind of explore up in the north, but I would also like him to come on back over and use his Guardian to help out our Lord, so you also shall come join King Nekaph.
I command movement.
You command movement. I'm glad that you can tell your legs what to do like that. Most of us don't have that capability.
Marvel at my pyramid. Know that you will never achieve such majesty.
Thorgrim, please don't be ending any kind of agreements. Fair enough, there's no treaty, no union between us. This was a mistake. It might see me take yet another, or the Slayer oath yet. English. And what have we really done to cause all these problems? We crushed some ogres that were squatting in the desert. And now everyone hates us. Such is the way. I think we're gonna come over here and jump out to sea. There's no nearby ports, but we can put out to sea over here. We'll go claim the shipwreck. It's a very small boat we have. I guess it's got 3 whole pyramids on it, so maybe the boat's much larger than it looks there. There's the Black Tower. I would think I'm going to put in, finally... Well, I thought I was. Maybe we'll just go for some more growth. Our growth is looking pretty good here, though, so... we will just hold off. Keep wanting to upgrade the Black Tower, but... it's just not in the pictures at the moment. Avenue... I don't want to do anything that is going to be costing us growth, and I don't want to spend 6,000 on walls also. So we're kind of out of luck for the moment. Although the places I will spend money on walls are at Ontok and the Plain of Tuskers, because we don't know when the lizard men are going to strike. Clearly they have intentions, and they're not positive ones. Yeah, we're gonna go there. Rolgan is moving up the other direction. So instead, Nekaph is just gonna go and attack Gorgazon. Stay in friendly territory. We've got like a strange double barrier border here. Kimbri's borders are so thick, they get 2 barrier lines.
Call me.
See if you can go ahead and assassinate Asafar.
Curse them.
Come here, ugly. Gonna shave them tattoo. Nope, we're not. I will wait to talk the smack later on. 609. How many do we need for the next army? 784. We will get there. We're nearly there. And I almost went down here and immediately awoken them. We also can grab Amonhotep's curse. Amonhotep's curse. Summoning forth his skeletal legions. Vowed eternal vengeance on those that had stolen from him. So they are the anti-pirates. We will grab them when we have the Corsairs.
You invite the ire of the great king. Unwise and fatal for you.
I wouldn't declare war. Oh, he has. He has decided to. I think we are about to be engaged from many different sides, so here come the Wood Elves. Power of Athel-Loren rises against you. We are at war. The Asrai of Athel-Loren are an arrogant and foolish lot. In their hubris, the bowmen of Orion have taken upon themselves to put a stop to our kingdom's expansion. We would have allowed their pitiful existence if only they chose to serve. But now, Nehekara shall not rest until we incinerate their great trees with the flame of Pra, and slaughter all that would resist the will of Settra. And now we have Alcatazar's honored fallen. Through him, Nehekara shone with light and majesty that had never been before seen in its history, so powerful that it might have eclipsed Settra's own dynasty. Which of course it didn't, because Alcatazar is not awake.
Bow before your king.
Swing over here to grab this shipwreck, and then we need to quickly get over into friendly territory. As you make your way across the sea, the ocean mists suddenly part to reveal an island, which, by all accounts, is uncharted, even by the great Maprite himself. High spars of rock jet from the sea like spikes in a trap that has just ensnared some prey. Indeed, a wrecked ship lies impaled on the small island's coastline. Its crew seem to have moved into the interior along with any valuables that may have been on board. Let's explore. Battle deployment. We have some crabs attacking us. Charlie's shorthands. The vampirates move on against us. We have not got to fight against any vampire coast armies yet, so even though this would be a decisive victory, pretty much no matter what here, we have chariots. Let's go ahead and fight this one, and let's bring us down some vampirates. These barbarous pirates attack us. They shall learn the folly of their ways. I don't know what's going on with your model there for a moment, but she strides confidently forward, even though her elbow is digging into her back slightly there. Oh, the force is very strangely grouped up, but we have a overwhelming force of chariots. Got the two that are for melee in the middle, with the archer chariots on the outside to harry those lobsters, or the single lobster they've got. All the rest of our force just moves on in. They don't have the normal group of cannons, so I foresee this being a quick smashing. Apophis and Settra charging on in. Wanted to get the Tomb Swarm out to shut down those hand cannons, because those shotguns do good damage to our bonus or our large units, and they will also slow them down. Some water blasting through the Kepra Swarm. And already they're just getting blended. We'll have to get into slow-mo because of how fast we're killing them. Getting spewed with acid breath. Settra and the others have arrived. A glorious charge. No one is standing to be braced. They are going to be run down. Or not. The horses are apparently hungry and they decide to nom-nom on those fellas instead of actually doing their job. Got some Death Guard chasing off a unit of our chariots. Yeah, they've got hate in their soul. We don't want our chariots to be fighting against a group of heavily armed Death Guard. Wrath of Dross sending several deckmen flying. Will they get back up? Who knows? I wouldn't. The obligatory surrender also dropping down. Their leadership pretty much crumbling in one swoop there. We are simply awaiting the charge of our chariots to finish off the enemy. Big Lobster is going to be doing battle with the Necrosphinx, a fight it absolutely does not want to take. And in come the cavalry. A little bit of a sadly impotent charge, but here comes another one in on a completely exposed flank. Mulching up some pirates. There shall be no survivors. We'll slow it down one more time there. Even the Kepra Swarm doing absolutely amazing work. Oh, and what's this? Your deckhand mob are exposed. The best thing about chariots, you can draw one of their more elite infantry units away and then just ignore them. And go run around and smash someone else. A group of pirates thrown against the Necrosphinx, coating it in blood. The big crab heaving its last. Slamming its baton down to try to take down a few more troops before it dies. Skeletal whips flashing in the wind. Getting bit by a whole bunch of horses right on its tuchus. Another swipe of the claw kills more of its own lads than ours. And I think the big boy is soon to fall. I wanted to see its death, but the Depth Guard are fighting against some elite units. We'll see those in a moment. Get a slow-mo crab fall. Guardian down. And down the Leviathan tumbles. This monstrosity has heaved its last. We shall have seafood for the next 7 months. Oh, we didn't even get to see the Depth Guard fall. They were getting butchered by the combination of great sword infantry and halberds, and it was glorious. Either way, the pirates fall, and their booty belongs to us. And we see the pirates off. Somehow, you killed 21, and you killed 9, and we only lost Ew, so I guess much friendly fire for the rogue pirates? Y'all need to calm down. We will go ahead and get some Endless March to keep moving.
From Settra.
We need to be able to stop these wood elves quickly. And I don't actually think we are going to destroy them. I think we'll subjugate them if they decide to not be completely wiped out. So we'll go ahead and... Oh yeah, before you can set foot upon the island, you are set upon by a vampire admiral, who had arrived there just before you and was bolstering his forces with the reanimated corpses of the shipwrecked dead rotting amongst the rocks. After defeating the undead freebooters, you looted the vampire's moored galleon before claiming all the salvage in the island yourself, and burned the boat. Materials at sea gives us negative 30% construction cost for all buildings for 6 turns, and 10% more income, which is quite incredible. And then Settra should be able to actually go into March Dance and nearly make it home, which is quite awesome. Although we can make it all the way to Sudenburg, but we'd be too far away from Montauk. Too far away from the action. While Settra scoots on over, we will come into his skills. And I think it is time to grab... What does Settra need? He's got 125 armor, which is pretty good. Devastating Charge would take it up to 167. The charge bonus right now for Settra is absolutely insane. Let's go for Over My Dead Body, give him a little bit more speed. We need the Flaming Wheeled Chariot to go all the fast. Grab more Devastating Charge. And for Nebathar, I think we're going to give him a Mentorship ability. We've got several extra sharing of character experience across the faction for all the Tomb Princes, and we have many Tomb Princes, so should help them level up quite quickly. We've got 10,000 gold. Can we put in any nice pyramids? The answer is no. Most of our pyramids are actually going in as we speak. So Findle is raiding. He's definitely going to be attacking Ontok next turn. And we are going to try to fight him off best we can, but that is an absolute ton of sky blankets he's rolling with, so we're going to have to probably take some wounds there. Plane of Tuskers, then we're going to upgrade the Tower of Bone. And then we'll also upgrade the sandstone walls here at Kasabar, because it looks like, I would assume Durgrim here is going to attack us as well.
Not possible.
You're about to get blitzed, huh? Alright, King Nekaph. I'm going to have you roll up and... I was going to have you roll up and destroy Gorgazon, so we don't have to worry about Skarbrand for a moment. I actually think we still will, so let's roll up here. Please have a defensive group that's not 3 soldiers. Well, that's not as fun to fight. So we'll go ahead and give this one auto-resolve, unfortunately. We'll lose 128 soldiers. And we will once again raise Gorgazon to the ground. The Canopic Jar Farm.
Attend your king, slave.
King Nekaph finally has himself some skills. We need Xar's favorite son as quickly as we can. Let's go for Route Marcher, get him moving back quickly.
Priest king.
And then at most, we can go ahead and get replenished troops. Although we're in enemy territory for now, so let's grab Shim's Burning Gaze. We're not going to be doing any replenishing. Kimri is safe. Gar is not, so we'll upgrade the walls there as well. We're going to be playing defense for a moment, but once we turn these armies away, we are going to have no problems claiming the rest of this. Let's upgrade the Great Desert finally. We can put in the Lost Tombs, giving us access to even more Ushabti with Great Bows. That sounds good to me. And we get the technology Lost Tombs Reawoken. What's this one? Oh, I'm not going to be able to find it, huh? New Moss Awoken. What's over here? Gives us 15% ward save for Ancient Tomb Mummies and more princes. Fair enough, I guess. So we are needing one additional, or at least needing to pick out an additional dynasty here. This one would give us the Arrows of Asaph. Nomad stock, better horsemen. So that would be for Nekaph. He's all about the horsemen and the knights. That would give us access to better archers, more missile strength for all of our archers across the board. I think we need to go for the Ritual of the 6th Dynasty, though, because it'll allow us to upgrade Ushabti in Clothed in the Divine. Ancient Battle Sites is for Necropolis Knights. The Lost Gold will allow our Kimrian War Sphinxes to be upgraded. Necrosphinx, yeah, this is Wisdom of the 6th Dynasty is what we're going to be going for. And it'll give us the Asrai secrets as well. Do we have any special Disciples of Ossoff, which will be similar to the Flamethrowers, but they'll be shooting poison, I'm guessing. So we'll grab the Wisdom of the 6th, and we'll wait. We have enemies on all sides, and the Black Pyramid of Nagash still stands defiant of Settra's will. We have much to claim and much to defeat in the next episode, but for now it is time for Settra to take back to his advisor chamber. Hope you all enjoyed part 7 of our Settra campaign. Any advice, tactics, unit names, or otherwise, take to the comments and let's start a discussion. But I'm out of time for today. I have been Space Wizard Total War. Remember to leave a like for the Light God and a sub for the Sub Throne, and I'll see you all in the next one.